It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Jaguars and the Bengals, and it's coming up next.
Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, here's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. For the first time, the Jacksonville Jaguars set to go here on offense, led out by the new face of the franchise, the #1 overall pick, of course, from this year's draft. It's Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson.
And I just don't think there's any way to overhype Trevor Lawrence's impact at Clemson. How about these amazing numbers? Over 10,000 yards passing in his 3 seasons as a starter. A 90-17 touchdown interception ratio, and he even ran for 18 scores. Not to mention, won a national championship as a freshman and made the college football playoffs his other 2 seasons.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. Connection made with Chenault. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly.
The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Trey Hendrickson in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
As we all know, a big priority for Cincinnati in 2021 is building up the line on both sides of the ball. They want to protect Joe Burrow on the offensive side, but the defense as a whole only produced 17 sacks last year, the lowest total in the NFL. So getting to the quarterback, as we just saw there, that's a nice sign for the Bengals.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On fourth down, on is Logan Cook to punt. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. Time to see this Bengals offense here as they get set for their first drive. And under center, of course, is the #1 pick in the 2020 draft, now in year #2, Joe Burrow.
And what a rookie season he had indeed. A knee injury knocked him out in Week 11 at Washington. And while the Bengals only won 2 of his 10 starts, I think everyone around the league and anyone who watched the NFL came away impressed. 13 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions, nearly 270 yards a game passing, the 3rd most by a rookie in NFL history.
Now Burrow on first down. Open man is Uzomah. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon, and he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
first down. Here's Burrow. Open man is Higgins. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Second down at 7. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On third down, Burrow. And that is incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So on fourth down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. We're scoreless after 1. The Jags with a football to begin the second quarter as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, second quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. Dancing to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Throwing again on second down. Lawrence. This is Chenault on the receiving end. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Lawrence to Chenault for a Jaguar first.
And the Jaguars are eager to see what Laviska Shenault and Trevor Lawrence can do together. Shenault was a second-round pick in 2020, and they're going to move him like a chess piece all over the formation and even put him in the backfield.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. A little bit of a breakdown there defensively, and the RPO turns into a big chunk play.
And when you think about running offense, the word comes to mind, assignment, right? Because you have to carry those out. But you have to play assignment football on defense, too, against a team that runs these RPOs because everyone has to be in the right place. Who's got the quarterback? Who's got the running back? Who's covering the receivers? This will work quite well on that play.
They go play action with Lawrence. He's got his tight end O'Shaughnessy. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Reminder coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game, and he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 41-yard line. Lawrence to Chark, first down, Jacksonville.
DJ Chark, a Pro Bowler and a 1,000-yard receiver in 2019, saw his numbers dip a bit last year as the Jaguars cycled through some quarterbacks. He's happy to have Trevor Lawrence in town and accepts the pass from him there.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. That's once again complete to Chark. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Lawrence. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Lawrence going to throw again. And that is incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and the Bengals will get the football back. Well, CD, something that we've done for a number of years as the season gets going is we get predictions on each side. Let's start with the AFC. Who do you have in 2021 as your division winners?
Well, let's go to the East, and I think Buffalo repeats, although New England, they got better in the offseason, and despite starting a rookie quarterback in Mac Jones, I think they'll make a nice run at the Buffalo Bills this year. In the North, what a battle you have there. 3-way. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I like Baltimore to still win the division, but Cleveland will be right there, and Pittsburgh will make a run at the playoffs. In the South, I think it's Tennessee's division to lose. Indianapolis had a number of injuries in the offseason, and Jacksonville and Houston, they're trying to get there. And then out West, it's still Kansas City. But I love what the Los Angeles Chargers have done in the offseason.
All right, CD, and then if you had to pick, who do you have winning the AFC?
Well, I'm going to go against type here, Brandon, because teams aren't supposed to sustain as long as the Kansas City Chiefs have. But despite a retooled offensive line, I do think that they get back there again. What happened to them in the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay, that serves as great motivation. They want to get back and atone themselves.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Joe Mixon there out of the backfield. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Hey, let's go back, Charles, to your preseason predictions. You gave us what you thought on the AFC. How about the NFC side in 2021?
All right, how about the Washington football team winning the NFC East? I think in the North, Green Bay comes back and represents again. In the South, Tampa Bay, who finished 2nd in their division last year to New Orleans, they win the division this time. And then out West, the Los Angeles Rams with their new quarterback, Matthew Stafford. And I like the Los Angeles Rams in an upset over Tampa Bay to win the NFC.
And then earlier you said the Chiefs on the AFC side, so who do you have here winning it all?
Well, winning it all is going back to Kansas City, baby. Patrick Mahomes for the 3rd straight year in the Super Bowl. This time he wins it, and he'll be 2 for 3.
Yeah, I think I like the Chiefs as well, CD, but man, an AFC title again, a rematch between them and the Bills. It would kind of be cool to see the Bills back on top of the AFC, but I think you're right. I've got the Chiefs in the end as well. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Jacksonville taking the field again here on offense. Charles, this is a team that has gotten some preseason headlines, no doubt. Urban Meyer is now their head coach, and really nowhere to go but up. An interesting story in 2020 was that they won their first game against Indianapolis. Well, then they lost the next 15. So we'll see what happens under a new head coach here in Urban Meyer.
Yeah, that's exactly why Urban Meyer and his staff are there. They lost those last 15, but you're right about how often they've been mentioned. Think about this offseason. Urban Meyer, head coach, drafting Trevor Lawrence, #1 overall, to be their new starting quarterback. The Tim Tebow experiment at tight end. It didn't work, but boy, it attracted a lot of attention. Unfortunately, the injury to Travis Etienne, their star running back out of Clemson. But all in all, this team has a long way to go to get better. We know that. But here's some optimism if you're a Jaguars fan. Check Urban Meyer's record at every stop in college. Check the record the year before he got there and his first year with that team. You see dramatic improvement at every place.
Oh, and by the way, no more Minshew mania. August 28th, he got shipped to Philly, so no longer with Jacksonville. That's another reason they were in the headlines. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Lawrence. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. Looking downfield for Jones. And incomplete on the deep ball. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for Jacksonville in that first half. And there's not much to speak of in terms of passing efficiency. But in a tie game, they know a few tweaks could make a big difference going forward.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway. Brandon Wilson to return it. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And Charles, a scoreless first half. How does that change how you assess things here moving forward?
Well, it doesn't change it a whole lot because remember, it's still scoreless, which means you're starting from 0 again, so you just have one half to play instead of 2. What I would look at my play sheet, though, and see is something that maybe loosens things up for my guys, gets a smile on their faces, and gets them going to begin the second half.
Mixon will get it to start the second half. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
From the 27. Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Burrow. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Logan Wilson that time there to bring him down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
3rd quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Sets up the screen to Robinson. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Take it at the 37. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Burrow will throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He's going to air one out. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the fourth quarter. Now the Bengals on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Here's a give to Mixon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ballgame, and it didn't come until the fourth quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Jaguars getting set to go. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
And now the throw taken in by Chark. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. Right back to Chenault. This time he's got it. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going. So, you know, I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
From midfield now, Lawrence. He finds Robinson. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
But to throw again is Lawrence. And a catch made by his tight end, Luke Farrell. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Back to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The kick by Lambeau is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. Brandon Wilson now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Cincinnati set to take over once again. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Here's Burrow. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. Throwing, Burrow. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. T. Higgins was the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Burrow. Complete to Boyd. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Well, that answers the question in my head. They're going to go for the win right now.
I think you're absolutely right. They're not content with going to OT. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. To throw, Burrow. And that's caught one more time by Boyd. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Burrow. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown. And they've broken our tie here in the final minute. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's capped off by the late touchdown. It's a 7-point lead here in the final minute of the game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. To return, here's Agnew. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated as really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.